Hi guys, good to be back. So today I want to dive into a new release that been highly anticipated, the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. So this camera is the successor to the ZV-E10 Mark I, and we're gonna see how it performs in real world. Something to keep in mind, I'll compare this camera to the bigger brother full-frame Sony ZV-E1 because they have quite a number of similarity. So let's get into it. So this video was shot entirely with the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. We captured some cinematic portraits video with our friend Cherish, who happens to be a dancer. So we decided to incorporate her talents with the Sony headphone WH-1000XM5. The final outcome is pretty incredible, and big shout out for her for making this video possible. Now let's get back to the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. It might not market as a professional video camera, but with all its latest technology and upgrades, I can assure you that this camera has surpassed my expectation and probably performed on par with some professional alpha camera. Alright, first up, let's talk about the build and ergonomics. The Sony ZV-E10 Mark II and the Mark I weighs pretty much the same, even with the new battery slots. Yes, Sony has upgraded to the Z battery instead of the W battery, which is fantastic because most of our Sony camera uses Z battery, longer battery life for the little piece. Design-wise, they made some smart changes. The top part now has a more pronounced handles due to the bigger battery, provide better grip. The power switch is now integrated into a zoom wheel, similar to the ZV-E1. The still movie and S&Q mode has been redesigned for quicker access, mimicking the layout of the ZV-E1. It comes with the same multi-interface shoes, and honestly, it's pretty hard to tell the difference between the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II and the ZV-E1 from top because they look almost identical. The screen design remains the same, but now they boost the higher resolution to 1.03 million dots compared to the previous 0.92 million dots. Speaking of screen, it also features some latest interface, including the new vertical interface, which while now is not really new because other brands have been doing this for quite a while, but still a welcome addition. The side ports are the same as the Sony ZV-E10, featuring an audio jack, USB Type-C, a single memory card slot, HDMI ports, and headphone jack. They rearranged everything to match with the Sony ZV-E1's layout. However, if you notice in the video, the ports cover looks and feels a bit flimsy, which I'm not a fan of. The build material isn't great either, unlike some professional alpha cameras. It feels a bit plasticky, almost like a toy. The button doesn't feel comfortable also, especially the back button of the camera body. Now let's dive into what is inside this bit. The Sony ZV-E10 Mark II features a 26 megapixel sensor, an upgrade from the previous version 24 megapixel. It's powered by the latest processor, the same one they use in the full-frame Sony ZV-E1. It has more face detections, EF point 759 compared to the ZV-E10 Mark I, which is only 425. If you compare to the Sony ZV-E1, which is only 627. And this camera can shoot 4K 60 frame with a slight crop but doesn't support 4K 120 frame like the Sony ZV-E1. However, it does offer 422 10-bit color depth, just like the full-frame Sony ZV-E1. It has 4K videos, which is an oversample from 5.6K. The camera comes with the Sony's S-Cinetone and other creative looks such as HLG or S-Log trick, matching with Sony ZV-E1's capability. You can also import your own custom LUTs to this camera. The Sony ZV Mark II comes with standard steady shots and active steady shots, not the dynamic active. And also, did I mention that focus breathing compensation? Yes, this little guy has it too, which is amazing for video shooter. Next up, the audio. The Sony ZV-E10 Mark II features the same intelligent 3 capsule mic found in the Sony ZV-E1, which I personally love it. I'm right now behind the camera Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now I'm at the side of the camera. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now I'm right in front of the camera. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. The audio quality is noticeable improvement over the older models like the A7S3. And now this tech is in this new Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. Great. In terms of still, I don't see a huge upgrade when I'm using it. It retains the same continuous shooting speeds of 11 frames per second, which I believe is sufficient for most users. But now it comes with electronic shutters instead of mechanical shutters, which you can find in most modern cameras. These provide you silent shootings and overall just better user experience with the electronic shutter. Alright, to sum things up, this camera is essentially a crop version of the Sony ZV-E1, making it a fantastic option for first time who want to experience the latest technologies of Alpha lineup. A content creators, event photographer, videographer, wedding shooters, I personally think that this camera is a great B cam with all the latest technology, yet it's compact and super lightweight. With the price tag around 1100 USD, I think you wouldn't regret getting one of these. Alright, so thanks for joining me in these camera adventures. Don't forget to comment, like, share this video, probably subscribe this channel if you enjoy this video. And until next time, create, learn, and have fun. I'll see you guys in the next video.